Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted about 6 years ago and is titled, "Do I Need to Work with the Woman My Father Had an Affair With?" I'm employed by a nonprofit that works with low-income students. I love my job and think that doing it has a positive impact on others. I like my boss and co-workers. We also have an employee who kind of works as an assistant, doing data input and organizing our lecture schedules. We are hiring a new person for that position, and our manager sent us a short list of people she was considering. She asked us if we had any input or prior interaction with the candidates. The problem is I do, and I don't know how to broach it with her. I don't think I can work professionally with one of the candidates. Let's call her 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝𝓖. We used to be friends, and she was my roommate for a brief time, including when I was hired by this organization, so they know I know her. However, a few months ago, I walked in on 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝 and my father having sex. It turned out that they had been having a full-blown affair for as long as we'd been roommates. Apparently, one of the reasons she'd moved in with me was to be closer to him. I've completely cut 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝 out of my life. I don't really trust myself to interact with her without losing my composure, and now there's a chance she's going to be hired into a position I'd have to frequently work with her in. My questions are these. The manager asked us to tell her if we had any input on the hiring decision. What do I say? Do I have the grounds to say anything? Because I actually think 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝's a decent fit for the position, but there's no way in hell I can work with her. If 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝 is hired, how can I work with her because I love this job and don't want 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝 to be the reason I quit? Update. Your advice and the advice of your comments were spot on. I spoke to my boss a few hours after the thread went up. I went with the second script you suggested. My boss was really glad I came to her. She had already scheduled an interview with 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝 before I came to her, but she let me know that they weren't planning to hire her, and they didn't. I know there are a lot of sad updates about bosses not holding to things they promise, but this isn't one of them. I work well with the general assistant they ended up hiring, and I continue to enjoy my job. Unfortunately, 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝 was hired by another department my job has some overlap with, so I have to see her more than I'd like. To be fair, I'd never like to see her, but every week or so is definitely too much. I'm professional when I have to interact with her, even though I wish I could ignore her. It would definitely be too apparent to coworkers if I were cold to her. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, and I'm working on becoming indifferent to her. Luckily, she should be finishing her program this spring. I was pretty active in the comments of the post, and I really can't express just how grateful I am for the advice and kindness of so many people. I was really struggling with feelings of isolation, like I had to bear this secret by myself, and it was a profound relief to get to talk about it. The professional and life advice and input I received were absolutely incredible. A few weeks after I wrote, I ended up sitting down to have a conversation with 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝𝓝. In the immediate aftermath of discovering the affair, she told me that she'd be open to talking whenever I was ready. I felt ready, so I reached out. It was a frustrating conversation, but one I'm glad I had. She didn't have good answers to the questions I had, and there were also no good answers to the questions I had. I hope that makes sense. There's still a lot of grief and sadness I'm dealing with, and I'm working on letting my life continue. My parents are still kind of together, and I intend to stick by my mom wherever she goes from here. Thank you so much for helping me stick up for myself and for all your professional advice. 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝𝓚 said, I was once in a similar situation. A colleague had recommended someone who had mistreated a mutual friend he had dated. I straight up told the hiring team, this guy was abusive to a friend of mine. We interviewed him as a courtesy to our colleague but did not move forward. I let the friend know we passed on him afterwards. Done and done. Peter09 said, not the best results, but at least OP seems to be doing better. I wonder how things are now since it's been a while. Turbulent Parsley said, I don't know if I agree with the person who said they wouldn't decline to hire someone because of an affair. I personally think that's a really good reason, because if your employee is willing to lie to and cheat on their spouse, what kind of lying and cheating will they do in their professional lives? Unless your business is scamming people, I wouldn't trust someone who cheats on their spouse with my business's or client's best interests. However, if your business is scamming people, 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝𝓝 sounds like a great addition to the team, given her commitment to the long game of being the original poster's roommate to sleep with her father. That's commitment to your conniving. This second post was made by a throwaway account about 4 months ago in the relationship advice. The post is titled, "Wife and her family kept her affair hidden from me. Thinking about serving my pregnant wife with divorce papers at her parents' house on Thanksgiving Day." The backstory is that I've been married to this woman, Becky, for 4 years now. 3 weeks ago, she meant the world to me. I would have done just about anything for her, but now I don't even see her as human. I've always wanted a family, and she knew this before we got married. She also had the same goals in life for us. After getting married, she decided that she didn't want to be a mother, and I was hurt but accepted her decision. We purchased a small farm after getting married, and Becky decided that would be her full-time job. We really were blessed to be living the beautiful life that we were living. Becky wants a thoroughbred horse for 6 figures, no problem. Becky wants to import a herd of Brahman cows because regular cows look boring, no problem. Becky wants a brand new diesel truck every year to drive into town, no problem. I had no issue providing all of these things because I knew her first love was taking care of animals. I knew that's what made her happy. A few weeks ago, her best friend Emily wanted to know if I was available to meet her because she had something to tell me. I figured she had a surprise for Becky and wanted my help. Emily came over to the house when Becky was away and handed me a file with evidence of my soon-to-be ex-wife's affair. Becky had been having an 8-month affair with the married veterinarian. Emily and Becky have been best friends for over 10 years, so Becky tells her everything. Emily let me look over the file and then told me about the affair. The highlights include that it was with someone who bills me hourly for thousands of dollars, the same man I see in church and who shakes my hand while his wife and I are clueless. Becky and he sleep together in what is supposed to be our house daily. Almost every time Becky goes on a trip, it's with her lover, not her friends. Becky deliberately sent me 2 states away to pick up a trailer so she could have the house to herself and her lover. All the new girly clothes and heels are for this man, not me. The icing on the cake is that Becky is currently pregnant with her lover's child, not mine. I know this because she admitted it all through text to Emily. She admitted to keeping the truth hidden from me. Emily also knows Becky had a conversation with her parents, who are supposed to be very high-ranking religious people in our little town. Her father, the pastor, encouraged his daughter to keep the truth hidden to protect their image. The worst part is I was so excited about this news and now my friends and family know. I can't believe someone can be this evil to do something like this. Becky has already started setting up the room and making changes to the house. The thing is, it's been weeks since I found out about this. I've used that time to get my ducks in a row for divorce. She has no idea that I know what's going on behind my back. I also took this time to confirm and get video evidence of the affair. I've already hired a divorce lawyer who isn't even from our town. Luckily, my state isn't a community property state. According to my lawyer, I will probably come out pretty well, especially with all the evidence we have against her. I've already had a listing agent look at the house and farm and give me an idea of what I can get for them. My question is about my plan for ending this. For Thanksgiving, we usually have a big service at her father's church. I want to look into her father and mother's eyes and have them lie to me about their daughter. My plan is to have the divorce papers served at my ex-in-law's house right before dinner. Her entire family will be there, siblings, grandparents, friends, including Emily. After she is served and realizes what is going on, it will be my time to leave. My best friend doesn't think this is a great idea. I think he's looking out for my safety since most of her family carry guns and he doesn't want me to be outnumbered. Personally, I don't think I'll be in any danger. The other, less exciting option is to do this at our house and see what happens from there. I'm not sure which route to take. After this is over, I plan on leaving this town and not looking back. As for why Emily is turning on her, I believe it's jealousy. Emily isn't married and isn't that well off financially. Emily could have told me 8 months ago but waited all this time. I'm not sure what to think. If all this sounds scattered, I apologize. My mind is all over the place and I'm lacking sleep. Like Bruton said, I would listen to your lawyer regarding the delivery and not your emotions or random people on Reddit. To this comment, user Heavy Quail said, this is the right answer. While the dinner stunt would be petty and fun, let your lawyer guide you on this. You want the best legal path for your financial well-being. Afterward, you can proceed to tell everyone she's pregnant with an affair baby and that the pastor advised her to lie about it. Their image can still be tarnished. A deleted user said, if the veterinarian was doing work for you and also having a relationship with your wife, that would be classified as a conflict of interest. Have your lawyer explore pursuing action against his license. You may not be able to get it revoked, but you can definitely cause significant damage to it. Additionally, that would expose his involvement in this for everyone, including his peers, to see. At this point, going scorched earth on everyone should be your goal. User Anonymous had said, burn her and her family's lives to the ground. Her behavior and theirs is beyond disgusting. It's unforgivable and grossly hypocritical. Is there any way you could have her served at the church service? This final post was made about a year ago in the TIFU subreddit by a user named P in Paris. The post is titled, I enjoyed anal too much. Both my girlfriend and I are virgins. We were planning to sleep together a few days ago, but now it seems like we're never going to have sex. My girlfriend was keen to have sex with me until the moment she asked if I would stop masturbating once the two of us became sexually active. I said I might masturbate less, but chances are I would still masturbate from time to time, especially when alone and unable to be intimate with her. My girlfriend looked at me like she was struggling to accept what I was saying and asked if I would at least stop using dildos because I would soon have her to satisfy me in the bedroom. She was referring to a dildo I've been using since the beginning of our relationship. I kid you not, it provides the most intense orgasms when I put it in my butt while masturbating. My girlfriend managed to tolerate my approach to masturbating, but she was never a fan. A straight guy penetrating his with a fake made no sense to her. I understood how she was feeling and always assured her that the dildo was nothing more than a tool to enhance masturbation, not a threat to her or a reflection of my sexuality. I asked if she was prepared to play with my butt during sex, as that would encourage me to avoid using the dildo going forward. My girlfriend said butt stuff was not her thing and asked if I was willing to eliminate the dildo because my attachment to it made her feel uncomfortable and somewhat unsure if she wanted to sleep with a guy who liked it up the ass. Without being too direct, she implied I had to choose between no anal play or no sex with her. I asked my girlfriend if she was asking me to choose between losing my virginity, which would most likely be an awkward and unsatisfying experience for both of us as beginners, or not losing my virginity but still getting guaranteed intense orgasms thanks to my dildo. My girlfriend said I was being cheeky and stubborn, and I said she was being insecure and unreasonable. For the record, I was thoroughly stoned. This happened on Halloween night, at a Halloween party. We were supposed to be having fun, hence the weed in my system, but we decided to unpack the wrong topic at the wrong time, and the end result was my girlfriend leaving the party without me. I woke up the following morning realizing I'd convinced the only girl who actually considered sleeping with me that I preferred a dildo over having sex. It's almost been 2 weeks since Halloween, and my girlfriend has made it clear she is no longer upset and no longer cares about what I put inside my ass when I masturbate. She says I've apparently made her realize the two of us might not be sexually compatible. As of now, it's unclear what the status of our relationship is. 𝓟3𝓖𝓖𝓘𝓝𝓖 said, I mean, you like what you like. She can't control that. She's jealous of literal plastic. To this user, Goblin Beast said, which a lot of men are too, unfortunately, my wife and I have toys ranging in size from a clone Willy of me to one that has got to be from an elephant or something for us to use together. It's not that mine doesn't do the job, it's just that they do it more efficiently, and I'm okay with that. Just the same as her sticking a up my ass that hits my prostate. It's a more efficient way of making me finish. Though they are young, so probably don't have as much actual experience and a lot more jealousy than a married couple would, I guess. Hakora said, she's way too concerned about your butt. It doesn't matter how you get off. It sounds like she might have outdated ideas about masculinity and sexuality. 𝓟3𝓖𝓘𝓝𝓖 said, I mean, if you're into butt stuff and she's not, you weren't going to last anyway. Not that most teenage relationships do. I wouldn't really worry about it. You'll find someone who will engage in anal play with you and end up much happier. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.